Hey team, it's Kit with a video tip for today. Well, I'm in the process of reading Tony's book, The Big Picture, 11 Laws That'll Change Your Life, and you might be too. And as I was reading the consistency chapter, I came across a great little acronym that Tony gives us called OPIE, OPIE, that I thought had great application to how we go about approaching our coaching business. So let me take this one step at a time. I'll read to you what it quickly says in the book, and then we'll talk about that. And then I'll conclude with another tip and approach, an actionable item that you can take this week. All right, so the acronym is OPIE. Think Andy Griffith, for some of us who really know who that is. The first is O, one project at a time. You may want a lot of change quickly, but if you pile it on, you're more likely to crash and burn. So pick one thing to start with and go for it. So whether you're a new coach or you've been coaching for a little while, sometimes this business can be overwhelming, right? You start to get some momentum, they start to build, and you really want, things to now start happening quickly. So do I build my own website now? Do I start blogging? Do I run multiple challenge groups? Now, my business has built fairly slowly over the years, mainly because for a long time when I was doing this, I was working 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week in consulting. So I did try to make the most of those power hours, and it built slowly over time. And that practice really doesn't change. When you have more time, put more time into it. When you have a little bit of time, make a focused half hour, focused hour, but don't try to do too many things at once. Start with the basics. Hold a fit club. Do focus on just continuing to do challenge groups every month. So at the time that I'm filming this, it's about midway through the month. So this is when I'm starting to think about my next challenge group and inviting folks in. So here's a great tip that I want to give you focused on those challenge groups that was brought up on a national coach call, which I thought was a great idea. If you're having some difficulty getting folks coming into a challenge group and making a commitment to a challenge pack, for example, then focus on maybe just drawing people in to help them, and they don't have to spend any money. So make it a 5-day group, make it a 10-day group. And reach out to folks and attach a theme to it. So maybe, for example, it's a spring tune-up, or getting through the winter blues, or let's clean up our act for 10 days, whatever it may be. And then you can decide how you want to run that. It's a matter of bringing people into a Facebook group, getting them to post daily, getting them to motivate and support one another for a short time period. Maybe you want to have them commit to buying just a Shakeology sample pack, and that's their one commitment. They have to replace one meal a day, maybe for 5-10 days, whatever it is, with that Shakeology. Or maybe it's nothing. It's just, giving them, one recipe a day. Switch out one recipe a day with this particular meal. And make it something different every day. Today we're going to switch out our breakfast. Tomorrow we're going to switch out our lunch. The next day we're going to switch out our dinner. Whatever it is to create that momentum. And then when they've had some success, when they've, committed to those just 5, 7, or 10 days, then you can reach out to them and say, hey, are you ready to make the next step? So that's just a tip for your challenge group. The next letter in the acronym is the P, and this stands for Partition That Project. A major shift can be overwhelming, so break your project into bite-sized pieces. Maybe you run 10 miles. Start with 2, then 5, then 7, then 10. So I always say that at the beginning, every month, every week, every quarter, every year, you got to set a goal. So if your big goal is, gosh, I want to be a diamond coach, or I want to get to 2-star, or I want to get to emerald, that's your goal, but you've got to break that down now into, bite-sized pieces, as he says. What are you going to do each week to get to that goal? What are you going to do each day to get to that goal? How many people do I have to reach out to get to that goal? So break it down into bite-sized pieces so you can eventually hit that target. The I stands for ignore your screw-ups. I love this because, gosh, we're all human, right? We're going to have conversations with people that don't go as well. We're going to feel like we've reached out to 1,000 people And of course, that's maybe not true, but what's going to feel that way, right? And we still don't get any response. So he says, you're going to mess up along the way. You're going to miss a workout or accidentally eat half a sausage pizza. Don't use this as an excuse to quit. Own your mistake, get past it, and keep going. So it's so true, right? The people that are most successful in life take their mistakes, they have mistakes, they make mistakes, and they use it as a learning opportunity. They use it as a growth opportunity. So come away from that experience, whatever it is, if it didn't go as well as you'd liked, whether it's a conversation with somebody, whether it's a bad week, whether it's a bad month, and say, what did I do really well? What's something that I can give myself a pat on the back about? I want to keep doing that. I want to keep incorporating that into my daily actions and my daily routine. And what could I have done differently or better to make change? Always self-assess, always self-evaluate. And if you continue to do that through life, you're going to always progress and you're going to always improve. The last one is evaluate your project. Check in periodically to make sure this project still works for you. Remember that 10-mile running goal? Does it make your knees hurt? If so, maybe it's time to abandon this pursuit and take up swimming or cycling. So, sometimes in this business, I see coaches all the time who try to reinvent the wheel. They move away from, the 3 vital behaviors, which is just invite, be a product of the product and do self-development daily. And they try to go after some, crazy thing and get after some, big opportunity or approach it in a different way. And the reality is that, sometimes those things just don't work and they're also not necessary. So, whatever you are attempting to do in this business, it's also really important to, sit back and evaluate, as I said, and think about what's working and what's not, and continue to do what's working. And also, look for folks that are doing it well. Listen to those Monday national coach calls. They're very inspiring. I always listen to them, and I always continue to get some new gems and new ideas and new inspiration from coaches who are more successful than me. There's always going to be someone who's more successful than you, and that's a good thing. It's like they always say, you want to get better at a sport, you want to get better at tennis, you play with someone who's a little bit better than you. They're going to elevate your game also, always. So look for those folks who are successful. Look for those folks that you admire and follow those folks, and you will continue to improve. All right, everybody, have a great week. Start that challenge group for next month. Come up with some ideas and keep going. Don't quit. All right, have a great day.